used to work the drive-thru window at a McDonald's near my house. I hated the job, and even though it was relatively easy and simple, I could not get over the fact of how little pay I was receiving for all the duties I had. When I first started, I made $9 an hour, and after 2 years, they made me a manager, and it bumped me up to $13 an hour, which is a pretty dang good raise. But the amount of responsibility that was added on for that raise to be justifiable simply wasn't worth it for me, and that was partially the reason I ended up quitting. But this incident I'm about to tell you was the real deal breaker for me and why I said adios to that place. I want to say real quick that a job is a job, and I respect anyone for working with what they have and stepping up and doing what they have to do to survive. I'm certainly not going to judge anyone for working at McDonald's, but it simply wasn't worth my time and energy anymore, especially considering I was able to get a much better job that I'm actually excited to go to every morning when I wake up. Our McDonald's was a 24/7 location at the time, and this was all before COVID. There was this one guy that came through the drive-thru practically every night around the same time, and he would hit on me every single time. He would call me pretty, ask for my number, the traditional man move. No matter how many times I told him I wasn't interested, he persisted. I gotta give it to him though. As uncomfortable as he made me, his persistence was insane. It was unmatched with anything that I'd ever seen in my life. I mean it. Every single day for months he did this. Eventually one day though, I was having a particularly bad work week and having a really horrible night on top of it. So I kinda snapped on him when he asked me out for the millionth time. "You fucking creep, get the hell out of here and don't come back or I'll have you trespass and you'll be arrested for harassment." I gave him his food and gave him a conniving smile. I thought he would get the memo after that. But I should have known better with how persistent he was, that he was a walking red flag and most likely insane. I kind of had an instant regret moment because I don't like to act like that, and normally I wouldn't. I know it's not ladylike to yell, so I was embarrassed. I try to be competent and not emotional when unnecessary, but something got a hold of me that night and I couldn't keep it in any longer. The guy drove off and I thought that was going to be the end of it. Unfortunately, that was nowhere near the end. Because within a matter of a few minutes, he was right in front of my face. I mean, literally, he walked inside and he even came to the kitchen area I was standing. Keep in mind, this was at 11 o'clock at night and there were only 2 other workers there. One of which was this nerdy guy who would not be able to protect me at all. He was tiny, skinny, and had not a single mean bone in his body. He was a very skittish young man. And lastly, the other person that was there was this younger girl. I forget her name, but it's irrelevant. She was only 16 and she wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. The general manager would make her stay late to help her because we were really short-staffed. She obviously wasn't much help to me either. Hell, they were probably both just as scared as I was, if not even more. The restaurant part of the McDonald's I worked at closed at 8 p.m., so whoever left last didn't lock the door like they were supposed to at 8 p.m. Which was Dylan, I'm pretty sure. He was another manager, and that was a part of his job to do. He must have forgotten to lock it. I was in deep shit now regardless, and my heart sank below my chest. He threatened me and he said he had a gun. He didn't pull it out yet, but he said if any of us attempted to call the police, he would use it on us. I tried my best to defuse the situation to get him to calm down, but it took like 15 minutes of this to eventually get him to leave. Thankfully, nobody got hurt. He eventually walked himself out after a long 15 minutes of convincing him that I won't call the police when he leaves, and he finally ran off. I locked the door immediately, but not before screaming at him and calling him a pussy for acting the way he did. I don't know why or what got a hold of me to do that. I just had this pent-up anger and it came out of me almost unwillingly. My dumbass had to further accelerate the situation by yelling at him, and by doing that, I made everything 10 times worse. "That's why your ugly fat slob ass will never have a girlfriend, you weirdo incel," I screamed. He turned around immediately and started running back towards the store. I of course locked the door and ran to the back. So this McDonald's was connected to a gas station, and in the back they had a door that opened up to either McDonald's or the Marathon gas station. Typically, the door was unlocked because the owner of the McDonald's also owned the gas station. And since our store didn't have a bathroom, all the employees had to use the bathroom in the gas station when we had to go. We all ran back there in an attempt to hide and to call the police. Evidently, they had a new hire working late shift that night right next door, and it just so happened that he was a bigger, masculine-looking man, so to our luck, he took control from there. He helped us hide in the back, and he sent the store into lockdown. We escaped through a secret hidden door in the corner of the store, and I was able to run off and get in my car and speed off. Despite everyone telling me not to, I just felt like I had to run. Luckily, my car was in the back corner of the lot, which was the complete opposite side of which this guy was on. Everyone else stayed, and eventually the intruder also ran off. The guy's name is Gregory something. I don't remember his last name, but he had a warrant out for his arrest and was eventually caught a few months later. I never once returned to that McDonald's.